A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Right, so he's actually quite good at his work, Martin Hamish. Quite good and also quite well recognized. Who is that? What is that? Father and I, Kew
Father
Gardens.
and I, Kew Gardens.
What did I just pick up? Inscription on Martin Hamish's photograph, Father and I, Kew Gardens. Okay.
Albert's locker.
A boat. A top hat.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
Naval architecture?
A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Royal Navy School of NCOs, that's non-commissioned officers. Recruitment Centre, London. Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you into the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montague Dunn, has expressed his intention to entrust to you the directorship of the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew, and it is clear that he would not release you for the entire year of naval training. Please accept all our best wishes for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours very faithfully, J. M. Lemarchand, Director of the Royal Navy Training Centre. So, young Albert is a brilliant naval architect, or wants to be, and he excellent results in the entry examinations, but his father got in his way. Fascinating. T. What am I teeing? Oh, this?
A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.
And they seem to get along. So all three people have, well, at least the two men have motivations for killing the Dun, the old Dun. And the young woman, actually the young woman doesn't have motivation because she is getting jewelry from the old man. So she actually wants him alive longer to get paid more. Okay, alright, well, there's all of that.
Locked.
Director's office. There's a cactus in here. Interesting. Oh, there's a safe.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Okay. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating stuff. Champagne. Champagne?
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste.
He was also a drunkard, according to most accounts.
French wine. A remarkable vintage.
Spending all his money on expensive alcohol, and there's a whole box underneath there. We're not done. Look at that box. Alright. Picture, door, okay. What's on the table? Newspapers.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
The Times. New plant species. The Kew Gardens team are pleased to announce the successful production of a new variety of barley. One that retains a complete resistance to the cold. They have named it the Siberian barley. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning on this very subject. Well, it's Martin Hamish who's going to hold a press conference, so it's not like the old man is taking all the credit for his work. Because, like, you see what I mean? Like, he's holding a press conference. Letter. The breakup. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. Montague Dunn. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. So now they... Well, that's still not enough motivation for her to kill him. Alright, let's crack this safe. What the... What is this puzzle? Alright, rotate left. Two... Two... Okay, what a... Two... Two... Three... Oh my god, do I just have to guess? Two... Or is it a pattern? Two, two... Three... There is a pattern. Alright, let's assume there's a pattern. So we're gonna go two... Two... Three... Three... But how do I know if the pattern is consistent? 5. Okay, it's 2, 2, 3, 5. Trial and error. If there's a pattern, I'm not sure what it is. 2, 3, and then 5. Like, that's not really a pattern. Alright. Letters. Lawyer's help. My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinarily precious and rare species of plants. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for dubious purpose. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14, 1889. So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. Postscript, see you in Boodles on Tuesdays as always. Montague Dunn. Protect the plants from the divine syndicate. They have no right to hold such precious plants. Letter of complaint. Mr. Dunn, we must... Oh, this is from the syndicate. We must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them in prison. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we did not elaborate. That was reported in the press as the case of June 14, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. Alright, so they kidnapped their plants. And now we have to look up what the cases were.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Personal loan. Debt of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Montague Dunn. Debt of Miss Margaret White. Rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street. An educational scholarship at the London University. Credits opened at Hamilton. Radigan House Tailors. and at Bards and Sons Luxury Jewelers. So Montague Dunn was keeping a tab on the stuff that he's given to the young lady. Fascinating. We need to do some research, by the way. Do we talk some more? Let me see what we have. White studies, White and Dunn. Miss White's family. Margaret White's studies and social situation were completely dependent upon Montague Dunn's wealth. Right. Albert's ambition. White's expulsion. Miss White and Mr. Dunn had a recent disagreement. Montague Dunn was planning to release Miss White from her position at Kew Gardens. Right. So that's a few more things. Let me just check if there's anything else we need to talk about with the people here. Apparently, yes. Kew Gardens.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
Fragment from a statue, branded file plots, photograph of father, symbol and broken plot, keys photograph.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role.
Doesn't it?
But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father, so it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
If he paid for it, did he also pay for your father? Like, did he employ your father? I mean, he does own it if he paid for it. I mean, you might not agree.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
Fragments from a statue.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently.
You're the deputy director.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
I would have thought that every rock in this garden is your responsibility. Alright, let's go hassle the other people a little bit. Nope, other side. Not here either, wait a minute. Oh, this is the wrong building, huh? Wrong building, guys. Is anything new here? No? Let me just quickly run through. Alright, there's nothing new here. Hi,
Poor
again.
Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
So awful.
Poor Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
Isn't it just? So awful that there's no more jewelry for you, am I right? So this is still green, we don't have to look at that again. Where is he again?
Dry tropics.
No, I know, open the door. This weird music plays in the greenhouse for some reason. The, ooh, exotic music for exotic plants, am I right? No, that's a bit weird actually. What's like, really? Dream of entering the Navy.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Keys for Kew Garden, symbol broken for branded, stolen before Weber's hopes.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Well,
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
now that your father is dead, why don't you try again to get into the Naval College? Albert's ambition, Albert's humiliation. Albert's motive. Albert had a motive to kill his father, Montague Dunn. Dunn had thwarted Albert's dream of joining the Royal Navy. By killing his father, Albert could have had his revenge and eventually succeeded in his father's place as a director of Kew Gardens. But it doesn't get him into the Royal Navy if he becomes the new director. Nope. White studies, Hamish's anger. Martin Hamish had a motive. He believed that he and his father's lives had been ruined by Dunn, who had taken credit for all of their work. Hamish wished to take over the directorship of Kew Gardens, but he knew that would not be possible with Dunn still alive. Except that he didn't take all the credit, because like Hamish's office is filled with certificates and diplomas and awards for his work. So it's like he's the one who's getting the awards for his work. That's not taking his credit. Nope. Okay. So we got those things. Alright, let's go back and do some research on the Divine Syndicate. It sounds like it's the Divine Syndicate who actually killed them. Of course, it's not the people with the drama who killed them. It's actually the Chinese people who killed them, right? That's actually what happened, apparently. Oh, we need Toby. We need Toby to come here and smell the poisons. Right. Why don't we just carry Toby with us all the time? Just keep him in the carriage.